Yeah, first, just congratulations to Alabama. Just thought their kids out-toughed us, outplayed us most of the day. Um, and at the end, it's not the first shot that beats you a lot of times. It's the second one, and that's what happened. And that's a toughness play. Not having focus to block out on that shot and letting that kid have a free run to go in there and tip it in. And, we got what we deserved, to be quite honest with y'all. Again, just known Christy and her husband a long time, and as much as I hate to lose, those are two people that work extremely hard, her entire staff. And, those kids have been in so many games. They could easily be 9-4. They were down 20 in the second half to Georgia, got it to overtime, basically led most of the game versus A&M. Those kids just don't quit. And that's the kind of team I've had in the past. But we're not that team right now, y'all. And I'm responsible for that. We really lack toughness. And we really lack, someone that will step up when it gets going tough and just say, hey, enough's enough. Hey, let's go. We don't have that veteran kid that can do that for us. And so it's really, it's really hard. And when you got to have a stop, when you got to have somebody go make a play on offense, we had plenty of opportunities tonight. We only had 9 offensive rebounds, as poorly as we shot it in the second half. Shot 33% in the fourth quarter, 43 in the third. But, Yasmin Walker's a great example of toughness. The kid's 0 for the world in the first half and comes back and goes 8 for 11 and hangs 20 on us in one half. I mean, that is a great example of a competitive student athlete that's got some toughness, that doesn't hang her head with a bad half, that goes out and leads her team to a victory. So, my hat's off to them. I have a real appreciation for kids like that and coaches that can get kids to play like that. And I've had those teams in the past. But for whatever reason right now, I'm not able to get that out of this group right now. And that's my job. It doesn't fall any further than right here, on my desk. And I've got to do better because we are not tough right now. And we are really, it's hard for us when things get going a little bit south. It's just hard for us to stymie it and stop it. So we'll get better. We'll coach better and teach better. That's the answer. I've got to do better with these kids, and that's on me. So, again, congratulations to Alabama. Those kids are just warriors, man. All to the very last second. That's what you do. You compete to the end, and, good things happen. And those kids were down 13 with 9 to go. 13 with 9 to go. We had some really untimely turnovers. We had some shots that didn't go. And that's what happens. In the Southeastern Conference, that can happen any night.
Vic, that foul that changed the inbounds position on that last play, do you think that maybe changed how it unfolded from where the ball entered?
I mean, you got to guard a sideline player and out of bounds underneath, The fact of the matter is the kid had a runner that was open too. We didn't guard that very well either. And the fact that she missed it, again, that's not the shot that usually gets you. It's the one that got us. I mean, you got to play it out and play through it and block out. You turn around and look at that ball, that's what happens. That's what we did. And, it's a learning process. Again, we've got some kids not been in that position before. But, we've got to be better. I don't care how long you've been playing the game. I've got to do a better job of imparting to our kids the importance of knowing personnel and a scout. I'm just not getting through to them on certain aspects of what certain kids can do. And I've got to be better on that because we're not getting it. We just don't understand certain things. And, sometimes that comes again with a young team. It's nice to have 4 seniors out there that have been to the wars and have good chemistry and got each other's backs and are talking, communicating, and know how to respond in each situation and are tough and aggressive and physical. And we're just not that. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not. And so it's a learning curve, and, you hope they learn from today. But, we've got to keep coaching and teaching. That's the bottom line. You You know, my staff and I, we're not going to hang our head. We'll go watch the film, and we'll come back Tuesday and have a good practice plan and be ready to go.
They cut it to 2 in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. You called a timeout, got a couple of buckets from Rakia, push it out to 6, and then took I think, an 11-point lead.
13.
13, okay, and that's when it got downhill from there. What changed from that timeout that you called to them going on the run to tie the game?
Yeah, we had a couple of turnovers that resulted in layups, you know, for them, easy buckets. I mean, we can't even defend them. They're out top or they're on the side. And, you know, we had some real bad turn. We missed some layups, missed a layup or two. We had a couple bad shots that we took, and we couldn't get stops. You know, that was the thing. They outscored us 21-13 in the fourth. And just, you can't dig in. My teams in the past, we just dig in. When it gets hard and it gets tough, that's when it just gets right for us. That's not the case with this young group. I mean, and that's just it. I mean, they're just young, and they're trying to figure it out and find their way. But, you know, in past with our veterans, man, they just dig in. When it gets hard, when it goes to overtime, man, that's when it's just right for us. I can't say that about this group. And that's not something you're going to get in 3 or 4 months. It just isn't. And even with my young kids that are playing, my sophomores that are playing so many minutes that didn't play a lot as freshmen, they're still basically in their first year. Yamaya Morse is in her first year of playing at this level. Andy is only in her second year, even though she's a sophomore or junior. She's only in her second year of college basketball. You know, Chloe, you can add her 2 years together and where she played, how much she played her freshman. She's really only in her second year and a little bit of playing. So our junior class is even, you know, a little bit inexperienced. So it is what it is, and we've got to, again, there's no excuse for that. I've got to do a better job. I'll be accountable. I've got to do a better job of making sure in those moments they know, hey, this is when we dig in. We've taken such pride around here. I mean, you look at every graphic on every wall around here at Mississippi State. Anybody that's in that graphic, any team that's in that graphic is known as a tough, physical, aggressive basketball team. I don't think we can say this team is a tough, physical, aggressive basketball team. Not yet. They will be, but they're not yet. But that's what we've built this on here. And sometimes that's hard for kids to embrace because it's not fashionable, you know? It's not fashionable to go out and lock somebody down and hold them scoreless and you only get 10. It's not fashionable. But you got to have players like that, like a Dominique, like a Rowe, that'll go out and lock down somebody's best player and know that's my job tonight and I've got to do my job. Like Jazz. Give me whoever they got, Coach. I'm going to lock them down. That's our job, and we're still teaching these kids, and they're still learning to get it. But some of them are still learning. I mean, that's just the way to put it. We're learning. You know, we're learning. They'll get it, though. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to get it.
Tell me, how are you going to get past the defensive struggles we've had recently? How can we get the team back where we want to be this season?
I mean, just to work on it in practice. Just continue to make it a focus in practice and getting better at it and going against the guys every day and competing against each other is the only way we can transfer it over to the game. So we just have to practice harder, be more competitive, be tougher in practice against the guys. So.
How do you make sure this loss doesn't beat you twice with a good Arkansas team coming in town Thursday?
To know that this game, we have to move forward. The game is in the past, but we have to learn from it as well. But we have a good team in Arkansas coming in, so we have to focus on them and give them our all and not carry on that loss from the last game.
And then what do you tell the young players in our locker room? What do you say to them after a loss like this at home?
We just have to go to work, keep your head up, and go to work.
I mean, keep in mind, we've had one, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got 2 losses this year to 2 unranked teams at home. Robbie, you'll know, when's the last time we've had a loss at home? We lost to Missouri last year. Were they unranked?
I think they might have been ranked.
Yeah. So when's the last unranked? When have we done it before that? I don't know if it was who it was, but
2014, I think.
yeah. And so it's part of the growing pains that come with, a real young team that lacks leadership and can lack focus at times. I mean, we're having to coach them, y'all, on how to go through scouting reports. Take your time. They're supposed to go through them every night, every day after pregame, and it's not a rush hour deal. But we'll keep working with them and coaching them and teaching them. This is all part of the process.
Do you think it's maybe a lack of consistency? Because, I mean, this team has shown this season that they have fight in them and they don't quit in certain situations is one thing that I've really harped on with this team this year.
Yeah.
So, even though they're young.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you think this team is specifically lacking that your past teams had?
We don't have that one player that'll grab everybody and go, hey, let's go, let's dig in. We don't have the one player that comes to practice every day and dominates practice. And it's a leadership. Part of it's leadership, and that's not anybody's fault. I mean, I've had teams before that didn't have good leadership, and that's where the coaches come into play. We've got to be the leaders, and so obviously, again, I'm not doing as good enough job there as I need to be, and again, I'll be accountable for that. But I think you miss that. And that's something that we've just come to be accustomed to around here the last 3 years with all the seniors that we've had. And it covers up so many mistakes of others. I mean, you think about it, when you think about these senior classes that we've had, they were so good about covering for others. And now we've got so many that need to be covered for that are on the floor at the same time, and you don't have that veteran group out there. And so it happens. And again, it doesn't mean that we just go, well, we're not going to be that. We've got to coach better and teach better. And we've got to make sure that they understand what to do and how to do it. And then when, I'm playing some kids a lot of minutes. Sometimes when you do that, you get a little fatigued. And so, Rakia's coming off going 45. I can't remember the last time I had a player go 45 minutes in an overtime game. Never came out. And so, she looked a little tired tonight at times and played a lot of minutes again. And is doing, she's trying her best. And when we came out of that timeout, we got her 2 good looks where I wanted her to get it right there in the heart. And then they went back to man, and we went right to dribble drive, and we got some layups and some and ones, and we were rolling. But then we had some crucial turnovers, and then we just couldn't dig in and get any stops. And again, give them credit. Their kids, they've been in those moments, and they're veterans. That's a veteran team to an extent. Our inability to get on 23's left hand tonight, again, another kid that we need to get on their right hand or their left hand. We couldn't stay on her left hand. We couldn't make 40 go off the bounce. We wanted her not to have any threes. She's 4 out of 7. She goes on a 10-0 run, personal 10-0 run by herself. We've got to be better. I got to coach better and teach better. And that's it. And we'll get there. This is a good basketball team. We're going to be really, really good at some point. But we've got to fight through a little adversity right now. We've not played well in about 3 or 4 games. And we've got to find a way to right the ship, and we will, no doubt about it. We got a tough one on Thursday, Lord knows. So it'll be a great test. I'm anxious to see how we come out and practice Tuesday, what our focus is going to be like against an incredible Arkansas team that's incredibly hard to defend. So.
Any other questions?
All right. Thank y'all. Praise the Lord and go Dogs.